Good morning, guys. I'm comedian Haley Boyle. And as you can see, I'm feeling much better today than I was yesterday. Yes, I didn't get a ton of sleep. I'm still looking pretty cute, all things considered. Even from down here. This is why do guys on Tinder always post this picture? I'm like, what is that? You're gonna be angry when I blow you? What is that? Anyway, I'm not blowing anybody, let's be honest. I want to talk to you today about beliefs. And I want to talk about beliefs because last night I mentioned my clicks, and I feel like that warrants a little bit more of an explanation. If you are a Kevin Smith fan like I am, then goddamn, what is it with my arms? I'm so freaking tired, malnourished right now. I gotta put my elbow down. You'd be familiar with the film Dogma, which is a brilliant little piece of cinema. And there's this part of the movie where Chris Rock has this great line about how he likes ideas better than beliefs because you can change an idea. Beliefs can be incredibly strong and incredibly difficult to change because beliefs do not have a basis in evidence of the world around you, truth and whatnot. Beliefs are faith-based. I always used to say my little dog developed her own belief system because she would do things like set her toy down when I put her collar on and then pick it back up, like she believed she couldn't do both at the same time. And the reason I refer to that as a belief system is because it's illogical. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but it was real in her mind, and that makes it real. And that's how beliefs work. If you believe something hard enough, it becomes your reality. And this can be a horrible thing, as we've seen throughout history with religion just slaughtering people and causing all sorts of genocide and wars like that. Or the Westboro Baptist Church. These are beliefs. These are not things that are rooted in fact and evidence and reality. It becomes a reality because you believe it so hard. But this can also be a positive thing. If you believe that you are capable of something, you are. I apply it to my son's father, and I can say, I thought he was worthy, but he doesn't, so he's not, because he doesn't believe that he can handle this. He doesn't believe he can do this, so he can't. That's how it works. It's how racism got so strong. Enough slaves were convinced that they believed that they were somehow inferior because that's what they were taught, that's what they were programmed, and that belief took time to break. And not only that, but the rest of society believed that. And so we're still dealing with getting rid of that belief that somehow Black people are not as intelligent or what have you. We have tons and tons of evidence to the contrary. We have brilliant, we just had a movie about how we would have never even been able to go to the moon if it weren't for a team of Black women. But the belief still persists and still causes damage. So beliefs are very strong. They can go either way. One of the reasons the last few days have been so difficult for me is because I had to let go of part of my personal belief system that particular things are destined and meant to be and whatnot. For example, that because this man is my son's biological father, that deep down he must be good and we must be meant to be together, meant to be a family, whatever, and just to figure out what I'm doing wrong and whatever, and then it'll be okay. But that's a belief. There's mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence to the contrary. But that was really fucking hard to do. That belief was stabilizing me. That belief was, was part of my foundation. And I had to face the evidence and be open to the idea that my belief is incorrect. That's crazy fucking hard to do. So, you know what? Yay me. Fucking nailing it over here. But I also wanted to talk about the clicks because this is a way that I use my knowledge of my own belief system to help myself. And I don't know if everyone has this or if it's a symptom of my autism and memory disorder, but the way my brain works, I have the ability to have a duality within myself. I always say it's my grown-up self, and I know everyone refers to their inner child. I don't really think of her as my inner child. Although saying that out loud makes me think that probably a lot of people do have the ability to have this kind of duality where you have like the person that tells you the truth within you and the person that tells you white lies when you really need to hear them. Where the heck was I going with this? I'm sorry, I've had so very little sleep. Um, so I know that I can kind of manipulate my own personal belief system to bring myself relief, but I have to be super careful about it, because if that gets dashed, that's a much bigger crisis. For example, in my last relationship, excuse me, by the way, I want to say, I don't think that, and he fucking hates when I say his name, but I'm going to say it anyway because it means he'll never come back and I don't want him to come back. I don't think Omar was a narcissist. I think that he is a hurt person, and he's been spending a lot of time and a lot of energy walling himself away from feeling his feelings. And that, made him sometimes exhibit traits of a narcissist and be in denial and stuff like that. But I don't think he actually is. I think he actually is a very good person, a good-hearted person. But when I would try to get him to cooperate with performing a click for me, and it'd be things like, I just need you to pick up this call. He would always, drag his feet, draw it out, try to negotiate, not pick up the first call, and then finally pick up the phone and then be like, see, it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because when you didn't pick up the first call, shit went way the fuck up there, because you've just fucked with my belief system. And that's not fucking cool. It really fucks me up. So, I've learned a lot of lessons about not relying on it and stuff like that, but it also can be very handy. There have been many times where, when I first started doing stand-up, I was consumed by anxiety that I was not going to be able to remember my jokes. I could not remember my jokes. I was going to forget them. I was going to stand up there and look like an idiot and whatever. That never happened, by the way. And even when I couldn't think of my jokes at the moment, I always managed to say something funny. But it was a pervasive fear. It lived inside my bones. I was scared to death. So, using my little belief system, what I would do was write my set list so freaking tiny on this little itty bitty corner of paper and stick it in my pocket. And not ever take it out of my pocket and not actually look at it. But my belief system was, if I had it, then I wouldn't need it. And that worked. I don't do that. I haven't done that in years and years and years and years and years. But it got me through that bit of anxiety. And so I did manage to find a much cheaper replacement for the Kinder Egg bell that has been like a loose tooth in the back of my mouth that I've been messing with for the last 3 years. Got it for $6. And poetically, it's scheduled to arrive on St. Patrick's Day, which, if you've been following along, St. Patrick's Day is a day of significance for me. And 3 years in a row of very traumatic St. Patrick's Day. And 3 years ago, St. Patrick's Day was a day that my son's father sat me down to tell me that he had never loved me and it was all a sham and he was leaving me for somebody else. So, and I was pregnant at the time. So it was a really fucking bad day. So I'm excited that, having pursued this particular click and kind of engaged my belief system to give me a symbol of moving forward, like something I can hang on to and say, this is what's happening. I think it's poetic and beautiful that it's going to arrive, or it's supposed to arrive in time for St. Patrick's Day. Now, see, this is what I mean by being careful. If I allow myself to believe that it arriving by St. Patrick's Day is important as opposed to just a bonus, I am setting myself up for possible crisis. I cannot control when it arrives. I can't. I can say that once I obtain this item, I can put this away. Beliefs are so freaking powerful, you guys. So use them wisely. Try to be aware of them and understand that if you want real change, deep change, meaningful change, you're going to have to examine your belief systems, and there's a very good possibility you're going to have to let go of some. It's not going to be easy, but you absolutely can do it. Like, just keep in mind that I'm doing this under really shitty circumstances. So you can do this. This absolutely can be done. If I'm doing it, you can do it. I'm a fucking mess. So let's fucking go kick today in the balls, okay? Come on.